We will try again every time the Dolphins matter here locally. Dan Patrick calls me, and we will try to merge our shows in a little bit. The last time we tried to do that with the more professional and successful and more handsome Dan, the lights went out on Meadowlark Media in the middle of what we were doing, and it was greatly embarrassing. But we're going to try it again and see if our video and audio department, which has had its struggles, can get its baby giraffe legs under it and do something correctly with Dan Patrick Show on a professional scale so we can get some listeners.
Some more.
Unfortunately, not younger listeners. That's like the one show.
Not younger listeners. We have to get better at YouTube. I saw an 11-year-old who's going to retire from YouTube in a couple of years because she's like worth $21 million. And I thought to myself, how does an 11-year-old do video and audio better than our entire 50 adults?
I mean, you want to start unboxing some presents, go for it.
I'm sure she has help.
Let's do whatever we need to do in order to get the help needed.
I'm trying to make it Foot Girls. What do you want?
Hire her. I mean,
Take your shoes off. Show your feet.
I will do
Please
only
don't do
feet.
that.
This is what I will say. I will do feet if Stugotz does OnlyFans. I think we should create an OnlyFans account for Stugotz where he has to do ridiculous. Since he's all commerce all the time, that you have to show a little ash crack.
What about calves? People like calves.
I'm in.
Let's open an account of OnlyFans for Stugotz.
I don't think you understand how OnlyFans
Let's
works.
do it.
What is it?
Let's do it. Let's just not tell him and let's do it. Let's do OnlyFans, Stugotz account. Somebody create it for him before the end of the show. See if our listeners give some money to
I don't think
Stugotz.
someone can just create an OnlyFans for someone else.
Okay, well, we're going to need help.
Not
Seems
how it works.
borderline criminal.
Let's do it. I'm endorsing it. We'll talk.
That doesn't mean that it's legal.
Let's
That's
slow
okay.
our roll slightly.
All right.
Once he realizes how much money is in this for him, your co-host is going to be
I know.
jerking off
I know.
for 50 cents at a time.
Really?
That is correct. And that brings me to my question because, yes,
I do it for free every day.
there's a lot of money. I think Tyson Fury said he does it 7 times a day, which is, where do you get the time? Tyson Fury, heavyweight champion. Although, if you're going to be heavyweight champion, put it on the poll, please, at Le Batard Show. If you're heavyweight champ, do you have to have the testosterone that makes you masturbate seven times?
So the Braves will go from Johnson to Hand, and the batter will be Mastroboni.
This is what I want to ask the audience. Baseball's our most tradition-rich sport. You can find more names in it than any sport. Find 3 together that are funnier than this sequence, and I dare you, all of baseball history is at your disposal.
So the Braves will go from Johnson to Hand, and the batter will be Mastroboni.
You can't find 3 names
mean,
in the history of that sport
I'm
better.
mad Bobby Cox isn't managing them anymore.
We could have a lot of fun with this.
We're not doing great with demographics.
Because we're talking about Bobby Cox.
I mean, Bobby Cox could be yanking the big unit. It'd be good.
Big unit, Bobby Cox, Dick Pole.
That's not a baseball player.
Dick Pole is a
Was
coach.
it-
He's
he was a
definitely a
racer,
coach.
right?
He's
There
definitely
is a
coach for
mound
the
visit
Phillies.
with Cox, Dick Pole, and big unit.
It's not as good as Johnson to Hand. You need a hand.
Mastroboni's tough to beat.
I mean,
You don't need a
is that
hand,
his real
actually.
name?
That's the key to
That
all
is
of it.
incorrect.
Tough to beat. Didn't do that on
What do you
purpose.
mean you don't need a hand for your Johnson?
Just telling you don't need a hand.
What?
You do need a hand.
Are you saying that people without hands can't masturbate? Is that your
Okay,
hypothesis?
all
That's
right.
borderline discriminatory, Dan.
All right. Greg Cody, 3-fingered, one-ball man could probably do it.
Where there's a will, there's a way.
Well, I don't know. Subscribe to Stugotz's OnlyFans and find out.
We have to do this.
You set it up yet?
Let's talk here.
I'm ready.
It would be a cool.
We need
All right,
to do
like
it.
I don't know your commitment level to this,
It'd
but
be funny.
Just in like you
It'd be funny.
in your 50s turning to hardcore pornography as a
Yes.
revenue stream.
Yes.
It's a great bit.
We have to do it. It does not cheapen us. He must go out this way. Tyreek Hill is saying he's going to do porn. Beat him to it.
Yeah, I mean he looks different.
You have to show your penis, though.
Yeah, no, you have to go all the way in. You have to just be,
For
just
$9.99 a month.
Really?
Do you
Well, that's how much
realize
each person would
He
pay.
can retire. He will be able to.
Cheap.
Our audience Our audience.
You think our audience
Yes,
would
just-
pay
yes,
$9.99
To see my penis?
to watch
yes,
him
yes,
perform sexual acts?
yes.
No.
They do pay Chris $4.99 a month to follow him on Instagram
Yes.
Plus or
Slow
whatever it's
burn.
called, and he doesn't post any content.
That's not
So-
true. You guys don't follow me. You don't know what I post.
There is a revenue stream here for Stugotz, and it's not the only stream.
He certainly won't be a 7-time-a-day stream. Look at him. There is no way that he's able to do that.
I
do you mean by
I
that?
would love
Way.
to have Stugotz have to make the decision of, do I want these $50,000 or not? They're just right there. All I have to do is what I'm always doing.
Right.
I'm always
It's something I'm planning on doing anyways.
Like,
I mean,
I think we should make him at the end an actual whore.
taking
No?
this a bit too far.
It was all
It
fun
is-
until you said that.
It is a bit of a distraction for your student athlete daughter.
Yeah, that's not great.
She's gonna have to be answering questions about you.
Just her?
Yeah. No, everyone else I think would be pretty chill with it.
Oh, Emma's good?
I don't know if you'll need an agent for this, but there are a few suggestions I have. If you want to talk to me off camera, because you can make a lot of money
Yes.
on OnlyFans.
A ton.
It doesn't make you a whore,
a ton of money, Stugotz. Not a little bit of money, a lot of
but
money.
you have to do stuff that people like,
Right.
not just like laugh or smoke. Like you have to do things that people pay you to do. And it could involve your calves. It could involve your hands, your Johnson. It could involve.
Do I have to do it?
Yes, they're
Do
paying
I
you.
reserve the right to say, no, I will not do this?
You don't have to show me your balls or anything like that, but I'm gonna need to see your belly button.
Yeah.
You can't take the money,
fine.
but you
It's
can.
not like Cameo. You can't take the money. You have to actually perform the service.
But you can not take the money and not have
Well, you
to
can't
do
do
the
that
thing.
on Cameo. You have to do it, or else the money goes to a credit or something.
I know, but you're not going to get paid for not doing it. Is the point? I understand that you want people to just
No, I
direct
understand
deposit
that.
money in your account, but you're going to have to do something shameful.
Like
for
a
it.
photo shoot here and there.
But if
Well, is
I'm
this a
not
real
comfortable with the
conversation?
request, can I say no?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
But you can't take the money. Is my point.
But you're
Okay,
gonna
I
have to
got it.
hire a photographer. You're gonna have to take some sexy photos by a pool. You're gonna
Stu,
have
it's
to-
not really a request thing. It's more like you set a price,
Right.
and then you have to put out whatever content gets people to stay every month.
Okay.
Both president
Billy-
and CEO of this
Thinking about
company
it.
are here today, and this is a conversation that's being had.
That's
Billy,
right. I
Billy,
mean, we
this
could
would be
use
so
another
good
prong.
for God Bless Football,
No,
for
it wouldn't.
publicity
No.
for God Bless Football. We should start it by the pool here at the Elser Hotel today. We should offer people a peek, possibly, if they pay a certain amount, just so Stugotz can see how much money is actually available to him.
I'll show my butthole. I mean, I don't care.
Do you dye the hair?
We'll see. I mean,
Is it bleached?
No, Julie, the makeup woman, Metal Lark is gonna have to pay Metal Lark is gonna have to pay a makeup person to bleach his hair with dye, so he can lie about it. I didn't do it. I don't know how it got there.
Believe me, I wouldn't want to do it.
I mean, messed up by Lucio. I mean, this is crazy. Butthole, that's where I draw the line, people. I'm just telling you right now.
There's a lot of money in buttholes.
Really?
Oh, yes.
How much?
More than you make here.
I'm in.
David, I've got a couple of legitimate questions for you. One, what Manfred said about soon there will be baseball gaming. You'll be able to just touch your screen and bet on baseball games and things happening in those baseball games. A commissioner has not gotten that close to gambling.
Nice
before.
transition.
It's happening now in football. Yes, there is. It's Stu, let's get past it.
I'm sorry.
This is real money.
Let's
I
move
mean,
on.
I understand you think there's money in butts, but the money in gambling is far more significant, far more than OnlyFans. If you want to make money, get into the gambling space. And what the leagues are acknowledging is that people want to gamble and watch not on two screens. They want to do it on the same screen. And there's a business that actually does it. And football has embraced it, and baseball is going to also. Every sport, you will be able to watch your game and bet on it in the same screen. It's mind-boggling, the marriage between sports and gambling, because it's just starting.
Just starting, and it's going to be, there's going to be money falling from the heavens all over the place, because once you get into the gambling money, Manfred is not different than Samson in how he wants to conquer commerce, and he'll sell all the pieces of the game. And the nostalgics will get mad at him, maybe some, but
Will they?
the changes they've made to baseball are good. Like, indisputably, baseball has fixed some of its problems, not growing its fan base enough. But baseball is a very entertaining watch, and Manfred's job is to just milk all the commerce out of it. And as a regional television package that sells 162 games, not 16, like, he's got a monster property on his hand.
Have you ever been to Vegas? The Super Bowl is in Vegas. One of the things that Vegas does that's interesting is forget the airport slot machines, which is while you're waiting for the plane, you can actually do slot machines. Have you ever been to a restaurant or a coffee shop where you can play Keno while you're eating? It's gambling while you're eating, and there's a screen at your table.
Right.
This happened in Vegas.
When in Rome?
It's when in Rome.
Yeah.
So all that's happened now is people are gambling in more states that legalize it. You're going to be able to gamble everywhere. Florida, when is that happening? I think Florida is now legal.
Any second now.
Yep.
So starting any second, and they probably want to get it done during football
There is
season.
nothing that's stopping the tribe from activating it right now. I guess the only latency is making sure that all the tech is there and that they're fully ready to go and fully operational without any hiccups.
So this is going to happen. All 50 states will have legal gambling. So therefore, wherever you're watching, you will be able to gamble while you're engaged with your sport. And baseball wants the piece because what you know is baseball and the amount of money they get from gambling, it's only above hockey. It's below basketball, and all of them combined are below football.
Despite being the face for corporate greed, David Sampson is also a hugely giving human being. He gives away a lot of time and money for good causes, and recently raised a lot of money for a running exercise that you did that I want to ask you about. But before we do that, the crew here, when I got here, was making fun of how your pregame speech was to a bunch of people who were about to run together. I have not seen it, but this is David Sampson, his teammates getting together before a big run to raise
Let's say on the
money.
front end, thank you
For a
everything
great
you
cause.
did.
Yeah, thank
Great
you.
cause.
Yeah, you did good.
Yeah,
But
you
they
did well.
they have not showed me this video, so let me see what this is and how bad. And Mike, just before we get to it, how bad is the pregame speech?
Look, I did not see this, but it was water cooler talk. And then I saw the video, and I get where people are coming from, that this is an awkward way to psych people up.
Well, thank you so much.
We love you, Brett. We love you. We've got you. We've all got each other. Let's go right now. 1, 2, 3, Brett. 1, 2, 3, Brett.
Now, there was like 2 false starts there.
We got this right now. 1, 2, 3, Brett. 1, 2, 3, Brett.
You gotta say on 3 on that situation.
It's usually Brett on 3, Brett on 3, 1, 2, 3, Brett 1. You see some of the hands start to come up after the first
but
1, 2,
now,
3.
Now he's going to tell us what's wrong with Brett.
Yeah.
And now you're going to feel
No,
terrible.
No, we said thank
Well,
you.
Brett does have Parkinson's.
Oh, come on.
We know what's
Come on.
wrong. Brett.
We know
knew
already.
what was
Yes,
wrong
we
with
know.
Brett.
I'm gonna
We're talking
donate.
about you
I'm
here.
gonna donate to the cause today,
on.
but still, it was a
Don't do
ridiculous
My
thing. you
hand,
did.
if my hand was
No, you're
there,
not.
Don't do that.
if my hand was there, it would have gone up on right now. I would have already gone up. And then he would have said 1, 2, 3, Brett. I would have started mouthing Brett. And then you went again, and I'm just confused by the whole
David,
thing.
we've got you. We've all got each other. Let's end this segment right now. 1, 2, 3, Dan. 1, 2, 3, Dan.
Damn.
We were about to run for 48 hours. And I
Right
was
now.
hosting people in my house. There were like people staying.
The segment's over.
You know who normally doesn't go to the Super Bowl? Dan Le Batard. Dan Le Batard, host of Meadowlark Media's The Dan Le Batard Show with Stu Gotz. And he joins us now on the program. But if I said right now, good morning, Dan. But if I said right now, got to make a decision, the Dolphins will be in the Super Bowl and you're going to take your show to Las Vegas, what would that decision be?
All right, can I get you to back off? This is aggressive. I want to linger in the good morning for a second before you come firing at me with
All right.
3 games in, are the Dolphins going to be in the Super Bowl? I'll answer that before the end of this segment as a objective journalist and not a fanboy. I will answer that question for you. But I'd like to tell your audience on the front end, at the risk of embarrassing you, a mentor and an idol and the best of the Dans in this business, I want you to understand how proud I am of you, that you have cultivated this audience of family around you and these people that you work with for a long time. After telling me in the bowels of a heat arena that you couldn't do this, that you can only do television and you couldn't talk for 3 and 4 hours a day. I am legitimately proud of the media empire you have built and was genuinely happy when I heard that you were retiring your way in 4.5 years as someone who left ESPN, worked in an attic for a while, and crushed it. Got out of there and just crushed it. So I'm proud of you, Dan. I'm sorry if that embarrasses you.
Thank you, Dan. I appreciate that. Now, are you taking your show to the Super Bowl?
Thank you,
believe in
Dan.
the Dolphins?
Jesus.
I hate the Super Bowl. You know that I hate the Super Bowl. I don't want to go to the Super Bowl. Can you incentivize that I lose a bet with your show somehow and then we have to go to the Super Bowl? And I'm going to do it downtown dirty Vegas style because I don't want to do it with all you corporate suck-ups being out there tied to all those sponsorships and then big guests. I'm going to be off the strip talking to Carrot Top.
Okay. How confident are you in the Dolphins?
This is the most overwhelming offense I have ever seen the franchise play, a franchise of Dan Marino. Tua is getting rid of the ball the way that Tom Brady does in speed with Drew Brees' accuracy, and he's got 4 or 5 guys on his team that are the fastest in the league. They've been timed to 21, 22 miles an hour. It's a joy to watch. It's a joy what I'm watching. And
We're time for that.
I can't say that about any time I have seen Dolphin football since Marino. It's punts. It's 16, 13 games. So what they are is hopeful and exciting in a way that's gotten everyone's attention through 3 games. And I would just remind you, a couple of bounces from being 1 and 2.
All right. Let me bring in Stu Gotz because he can hate on anything.
Yeah.
Stu Gotz, good morning. And are you all in on the Dolphins going to the Super Bowl?
Before I get to that, Dan, I also want to say how proud I am of you for being able to talk for 3 to 4 hours a day. I mean, who retires 4 years in advance, announces the retirement, doesn't retire? I mean, I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
You're
you
a
know
legend.
What? Why don't you guys do this? Why don't you announce your retirement and but say it's going to happen in like 5 years?
Oh, I'm not going to make it that long.
5 years?
We can barely keep the lights on around here when we're being interviewed by you.
Well,
like,
last
5
time-
years?
Yeah, last time the lights went out on your end.
I mean, 5 years? Were you kidding me? This company's
Okay.
clearly going to kill me. Yesterday we were
Okay.
talking about my will
2
and
and a half.
Key-Man life insurance.
2.5 years. Do I take the over or under?
What's the bet on getting us to the Super Bowl? Your team comes up with some bet that forces us to go to the Super Bowl because I don't want to go to the Super Bowl. But I'm going to have to probably if the Dolphins get there. And I can't say that in my lifetime I've ever had more hope for a team than what this team in Miami has given.
If they have 13 wins, you have to go to the Super Bowl.
If they have 13 wins.
But what if the Dolphins aren't in the Super Bowl? I mean...
Well, no, you have to make the decision. Like, you got to make the decision.
Oh, you're saying that's the bet 13 wins, he has to go to
Dave,
the Super Bowl?
I am, Dan, I am scared to have hope.
You just call me Dave?
I did call you Dave.
That's a fun. Yeah.
My brother died.
But you're still proud of me.
All right, forget about the fun.
I mean, my brother died. His name is Dave. I'm saying it all the time lately.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't play that card.
It's a good card to play, Dan. It's pocket aces.
The dead brother card?
I know, but like I'm not playing my dead dad card.
Did he die 2 months ago?
Yeah, it feels like that in
No,
my heart.
that doesn't feel like that. Did he die 2 months ago? Your little brother. Dave.
He was a great artist.
LeboStudios.com.
Okay.
You have a brother named Dave Patrick?
I do.
DP. A couple of
Yeah.
DPs cutting it up.
Yeah.
But you understand what I'm saying. Look, I'm an objective journal. I'm an objective journalist.
Are you still a journalist?
Yeah. Wow. Okay, that's a good question. That is good. He's good. He is good at asking the good questions.
So good.
All right, listen.
Proud of you, Dan.
Okay, this is what's funny about that. So, Tony Kornheiser, respected newspaper columnist, and you know this from a specific angle because the newspaper columnists always look down at TV boy pretty face. Vanity guy couldn't do it the way the newspaper guys would.
Absolutely.
Kornheiser, who judged you, He has called himself a yodeler for a quarter of a century because ESPN bought all the watchdogs and turned us into yodeling sellouts that would not criticize the company. But am I still a journalist?
Yes.
I fought for my freedom to get out of ESPN so that I could say whatever the hell I wanted to about ESPN.
Wow.
That's right.
Yeah.
I am still out here in these streets fighting next to a true fool who lies about dyeing his beard this morning.
I did not lie.
Do you dye your beard?
Let me. I'll get
unintentionally.
I don't know. His answer when I asked him how his beard got dyed, he said he didn't do it. I don't know how it got there. We'll get to it in a second. We'll get to all your hard questions in a second. But I just want for you to understand that I am trying in a difficult media world where we are more politically divided than ever. I am trying to still be a fair and honest journalist who cares about the truth impartially, objectively, makes some mistakes, but tries to cover the teams like a journalist, not like a cheerleader. And so I'm not going to be in a position where I'm just fanboying for all things Dolphins just because my city's excited about this. I am not a homer or a cheerleader. I am not someone who doesn't know what journalistic principles are.
Your entire staff is dancing behind you.
They make me look bad all the time. I am still afraid of Warren Sapp because Stugotz won't stop saying he has bad breath, and Warren Sapp's blaming that on me. He wants,
Wow.
I always get blamed for the things that they do.
Is the Dame Lillard to Miami, is that off the board now?
Again, I'm a journalist. It's not off the board. However, I enjoyed this yesterday, Dan. This was one of my favorite things that happened yesterday. I got aggregated because I'm not a newsbreaker. God, I hate it's such a hard job to be the newsbreaker guy. But I do know what's going on with the Heat. Because I know I've been in this market for 35 years, and there are a lot of people reporting a lot of different things about what this is.
Bona fides.
Are you wearing a Dolphin cap?
Dolphin fan, yeah.
You're a Jets fan.
Yeah.
I like it.
Fins up.
Yeah.
I got aggregated yesterday with this in my mouth because I was giving Miami Heat news, and people have called me a not objective Heat mouthpiece. And that that I am compromised. It's not Woj and Adam Schefter who are compromised because they or Shams because they have so many relationships that they're doing the bidding of other teams. I'm still an objective journalist, but I have true information on what is happening here with the Heat and the Portland Trailblazers. And yesterday it got aggregated while I'm wearing a Heat mouthpiece, and Greg Cody is sitting in shorts on the therapy couch in the corner without explanation. So I'm going to give you the most up-to-the-date information that there is on Dame Lillard to the Heat. Are you ready?
Okay. I am absolutely ready. Got pen in hand, and I will transcribe this.
Okay. I got to put in the mouthpiece, though, and I didn't clean it since yesterday.
Okay.
So Dame Lillard wants to be here. And Miami Heat want him here, but only at the very specific price that they have offered Portland. There's not a back and forth. Toronto and Milwaukee can have him if there's better pieces out there for somebody who's going to cost a lot of money at the end of his contract. They will not overpay. That's coming from an objective journalist. They will not overpay for Dame Lillard. So you do whatever you want, Toronto, and you do whatever you want, Milwaukee, and you idiot Cronin in Portland, you should have gotten rid of him a long time ago before we all saw that Portland's not good enough to keep him. The Miami Heat are going to get Dame Lillard.
I know less.
Wow.
I know less, but you're guaranteeing that the Heat are
Let
getting
me repeat myself clearly. The Miami Heat are going to get Dame Lillard.
That's Dame Lillard, Dan Le Batard. Dame Le Batard, host of the Meadowlark Media's The Dan Le Batard Show with Stu Gotz. Maybe we'll have a dance-off, your show versus my show.
Let's figure it out. I want to do this. I do want to do this, Dan.
How about in Vegas?
With the consequences of I have to go to Vegas and suffer Vegas and the Super Bowl and everything else, because I'd like to see you. The audience needs to know, Dan. They really need to know what an amazing career you have had. I know we'll get to do the eulogizing in 4.5 years on what your radio career has been. No, because man, do you know how rare
enough
this
about
is?
Dave? I mean,
do you know how rare this is, Dave? For you to have, there are only like 10 or 12 people who get to do this with their own audience that travels with them, and you're one of them. And you did that after leaving the Beast. You did it the hardest way, and you warned me when we left ESPN. Man, it's going to be bad for a while. I was suffering in my attic, and you are somebody who's got a very high pain threshold.
Well, no, fake humility on your part, because you guys have done it as well.
Okay, but I remember
but
that.
your lights stay on. I mean,
well, yeah, you've done it so much better, and it infuriates me.
No, I agree with that.
4 people you need, not 50. You need 4. You got 4, and they're with you for life. They're your family for life. I got 50.
Oh, crap.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Not again. Not again. I got 50, and I can't keep the lights on. Not again.
Even when the lights are on, nobody's home. Thank you, Dan.
That's not true. We got a lot of people downloading us.
Oh, now, okay, there's no false humility. Now we're talking podcast trash. Okay.
Well,
that is lame trash talk, man.
I like that. Podcast trash talk. Man, it's like the Sharks and the Jets. Hey, guys, thank you for joining us if you're still there. And Dan Le Batard. All righty. I'm not sure what we accomplished there, but that's the Dan Le Batard Show with Stugotz. Yeah, Paul.
They can't dance that well, can they?
No, they can't.